I don't think there's an answer to the why to this. 100,000 out of 100,000 times, 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000, when you have a timeout in that situation with maybe the best player on the planet, Marshawn Lynch, you give him the ball. So whatever is said from here on out, there is no why, there is no justification. That's an overly aggressive organization that took a great risk at the end of the first half with 6 seconds left to throw it in the end zone, get over aggressive in a situation where they had the Super Bowl on the line and most likely they're going to punch it in.
And they got burned being over aggressive, and that cost them a Super Bowl. Changes history right there.
Absolutely does.
Malcolm Butler changed history, gave Tom Brady his 4th Super Bowl. Because Tom Brady, he didn't have control of that situation, much like in the 2 Super Bowls he lost to the Giants. He was on the sideline.
By the way,
Eli Manning made plays.
Brady's face on the sideline was priceless. His reaction when Russell Wilson threw the pick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
When he knew the game,
joy.
when he knew the game was in the bag.
He started jumping up and down.
Yeah, he couldn't believe what had happened. Like the
jumped
rest
very
of the
high.
world.
He didn't jump very high.
Like a 4-year-old.
But you know what? It was the polar opposite when Kearse caught the ball.
Right.
Because he was just shaking his head
Yeah,
like,
right.
I can't
Distraught.
believe this is happening to us
Right,
again. Because
right.
they had the Tyree situation, he had the Manningham situation, both kind of miraculous catches against them in Super Bowl.
Hey, we can all rest
Manningham
well.
wasn't a miraculous catch.
It was
that
a
was a
great-
perfect throw.
Yeah, it was
by
a great
Eli.
throw and catch.
But it was another situation where he wasn't in
It
control.
wasn't fluky.
And he had to rely on his teammates. And I thought he was gracious afterwards, pointing out, look, Butler made a phenomenal play.
We can
They
all
got a great
sleep
team.
better
Play of the
tonight
century.
because we know that Boston has secured another championship.
They've
You
gone
gotten-
through this before?
Well,
How many
the
since
Pats
2000?
have won 4 since 2000. The Bruins won a Stanley Cup. The Red Sox have won 3 World Series. And the
What is
Celtics.
that, like 8?
That's 9.
That's
10?
9. 9 World
All 4,
Championships
and in all 4 sports.
since
Major sports.
2000. I mean, it's ridiculous.
They're the
If I
worst.
ever hear a Boston sports fan complaining about anything, you can zip it.
All right, let's
We
rip through
got
these
none of
calls.
this here.
Locked and loaded. Hadid Carpet Clean listener lines at 800-636-1067. Who's up?
All right, let's go to Chris in Stafford. We'll rip through these. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, love the show.
Thanks.
I don't know if I wanted the Patriots to lose more or if I wanted Marshawn Lynch to get the MVP just to hear the interview afterwards.
Yeah, whatever.
Eh? No.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting.
You waited 45 minutes for that?
No.
Would he have been? Do they even do the Disney World bit anymore? Do they do that?
I don't
didn't
think,
notice
I
that.
don't
Going to
think
Disney
so.
World?
I didn't notice it.
I'm not sure if they do.
I think
Didn't
Marshawn.
they do it last
there
year?
was. I saw somebody did have a quote from Marshawn Lynch. It was like a tweet from an NFL reporter who actually got Marshawn to say a few words, and I thought he was kind of gracious. He's like, he didn't blame. He didn't say I wanted the ball or whatever. He said it's a team sport.
No, he was great. He was great.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
but
let's go.
it's got to kill him inside.
Let's go to Junior, Alexandria. Junior, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, the only thing I'm going to say is this. The person, in my opinion, who made that play was Brandon Browner. Earlier in the game, the Patriots ran that same type of play against Richard Sherman. And, the outside guy goes in motion and, comes inside, and he gets picked basically by the middle guy. In this situation, Brandon Browner stood his guy up at the line.
I can't even hear you, bro.
Yeah, why are you mumbling, dude?
I can't hear you. Your phone.
My bad.
There you go.
I said basically Brandon Browner stood his guy up at the line of scrimmage, which gave Butler a clear look
Right.
to drive on that ball, unlike when it happened with Richard Sherman earlier in the game. And I think it was Julian Edelman who came in and had like a 6 or 8 yard catch on the same type of play.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, that play of the game was made by Brandon Browner, even though Butler's going to get the credit for that.
Well, he was part of it.
It was a good team effort
Yeah,
by the
thank
secondary.
You. Thank you.
Both those guys played a role.
I'm just stunned at how prepared he was. Like, he saw it, and he called out the play. He's a rookie,
And he jumped
undrafted free agent, and he jumped, and he had the balls to jump it
And he
and go
jumped it.
for it. And make the catch, complete the play. Let's go to Alex in D.C. Alex, what's up?
Hey guys.
Yes.
What's up, Alex?
Hey, I want to make 2 points about the game. I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. I've called you guys a bunch of times.
Yep.
The first thing is this was a closure for the NFL. They had the Lions lost to the Cowboys on a pass interference call that wasn't called, and then the Cowboys lost on the non-catch of Des Bryant, and then they turned around and lost to Green Bay. Green Bay. Then Green Bay lost to the
Seahawks.
Seahawks on a fluke, onside kick and a meltdown, and then the defending champs lost, at the goal line with half a yard away. So every team that won barely, they lost the following game. The other thing I want to mention about this whole legacy thing about Tom Brady, and people aren't talking about this. This guy, he's obviously gone to 6 Super Bowls. He's won 4 of them, and they're comparing him to Montana. But Montana 3 times he was one and done in the playoffs in the middle of his prime, and Brady took teams that had no business going to Super Bowl, and Brady hasn't gone 3 seasons that he's played without going to Super Bowl, and I think that's why his record is 4-2. And the guy just showed he's absolute clutch. I mean, down 10, 24 times teams have been down 10 or more points in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl, and 24 times they've lost until last night.
No, he's incredible.
He's beyond.
He's incredible. But you understand, there's no question about it.
Right.
But regardless of this, if they hand off to Marshawn and they score, you don't have that narrative.
Let me say one more thing about it. At the end of the first half, 6 seconds ago, they throw a pass, and most teams will go for the field goal there. He takes a sack, the ball is tipped, there's not enough time. He completed that pass 2 seconds ago. They gambled in the first play in the first half. They made it. They gambled at the end of the game. They lost. They play like that the whole year. That's what Seattle. I'm talking about Seattle, and they show they're totally classless, man. Sherman putting up 24. When got beat.
Yeah, he spoke too soon.
And they pick a fight at the end of the game. They're professional.
It's frustration.
Pick a fight.
Yeah,
it's okay. They lose.
Right,
you guys
don't
win.
play like a thug. You don't play like thugs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think he makes good points on Brady, and Brady's done it without, besides when he had Randy Moss, without the greatest receivers. Like he's won Super Bowls with Troy Brown,
Sure.
No doubt.
And didn't win with Randy
I feel
Moss.
like particularly early when he won 3 Super Bowls early. And I think he won probably all 3 Super Bowls before he's like 26 years old. They had great defenses and they had great defensive players. They had he's had really complete teams.
He's one of the all-time greats. I'm just not willing to say he's the greatest.
I mean, but he's in that discussion.
He is, but I'm just not willing to give it to him.
A guy who's not in that discussion, just the greatest quarterback that I ever saw, honestly, was Dan Marino. Just watching him. But he's not in the discussion.
When your trophy room is empty, it's hard to lobby to be the greatest.
No. Let's go to Mo.
You got to be judged on what you do in the postseason.
Mo, what's up?
Good morning, fellas. Good morning.
Hey, Mo.
Hey.
I'd like to start off by saying I was wrong. I had Seattle.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Because you were killing me for 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I was wrong. I'd like to say that call was inexcusable when the whole premise of your whole identity was built on the shoulders of Marshawn Lynch and you don't give him the ball in that situation. I mean, that's crazy. But I just want to say this. I know we're in the topic of, you don't want to necessarily give Tom Brady the crown of being the best all the time, but I don't believe that this Seattle team will come back in the same fashion next year because I don't think they're going to resign Marshawn Lynch. But I see New England coming back as good, if not better, because their best players are under contract for the next year or two, and a couple pieces that come back that renew this year with more experience next year, they're going to be a hard team to beat.
Well, Revis is a free agent, and I know Revis is – there are already reports that the Jets want him back, the Bills are going after him, so – we'll see if Revis goes after the big bucks.
And the word
they
is
might lose some guys.
They've already offered Lynch a huge contract. Was he going to walk away from it?
I think he would sign that.
I think ultimately he's going to.
But I think Mo's right. I think the Seahawks are going to have a tough time because if they end up signing Russell Wilson to huge bucks and they sign Marshawn Lynch to huge bucks, they're not going to be able to retain all these guys.
They might not, but if they can fill in the holes, if they can find guys like Chris Matthews out of nowhere and just plug those guys in along with the guys they already have, they're going to be okay.
But they lost guys last year.
And what happened?
They were able to get to
the Super Bowl again.
But I just think it's going to be tough to sustain
They're going to the playoffs. After that, it's crapshoot. They're going to the playoffs next year.
Yeah, they'll go to the playoffs.
I mean, do they
After
have
that,
any?
I have no idea.
Who else is a free agent? A key free agent on that team? Do they have any key guys?
For Seattle or New England?
Seattle.
Not a lot.
Yeah, most of those guys are back.
All their core players have been re-signed.
Yeah, most of those guys are back.
And EB always says the salary cap means nothing. I think he's right because the Seahawks just give everyone huge contracts.
They can outrun it. I'm telling you, everyone killed the Redskins. They had like a $36 million penalty, whatever, and they filled the teams.
And then the cap goes up every year.
Right. Maxwell actually might be a Redskin next year.
Byron Maxwell?
Yeah.
Go to Dallas, Leesburg. Dallas, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
I was actually at Drab's house last night watching the game, and he was Ricky.
Did he show you the door like 3 seconds after the pick?
He didn't really show me the door. I just kind of knew that it was just time for me to get up out of there. I was like, all right, Dab. And he just kind of had like this look on his face and gave me like a half handshake.
Yeah. I think you know the room. Like if the guy is hosting the party is a Seahawks fan and the Seahawks lose in crushing fashion, You finish your drink and you leave.
I'll give Drab credit for actually hosting the party.
Yeah.
Because I would have never have done that.
I was actually
thanks for the invites, Drab.
I was actually shocked because I went with him to Springfield with Bodie to watch this game. There was these bikers in there acting like donks, and I asked him, I was like, "Hey man, where you gonna watch the Super Bowl?" And he's like, well, "Not with you, not with anyone. I'm gonna watch it by myself." He actually invited me over, but I felt bad, man. He took the time. He decorated the place really nice. Troy was hanging out with everybody.
Troy.
And the fact that they lost, I felt really bad for Drab, but there's always next year. But I was also doing a little funny bit. Well, I kept on yelling at the TV, telling him not to give it to Marshawn Lynch, and Jay, I was like, "See, you should have keep giving to Lynch, keep giving to Lynch." And then
what did he do? What did he do after the miraculous catch? Was he counting his chickens for even just a minute?
He was just jumping around and screaming, having a good old time.
What about when he got so then they hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch. They're on the 1 yard line. Everybody thinks Seattle's about to win back-to-back Super Bowls. What was he like then?
He just slumped down on the couch like he was just
catatonic.
To kill himself.
No, before the interception.
When Lynch had the 5-yard run that almost got in there, whatever it was.
Oh, he was screaming and just going. He was going crazy. He was just punching in the air and just acting like a fool. But when that interception came, he just sat down on the couch like Al Bundy.
You know what? Oh, yeah. You know what? You know, there's always YouTube clips of people going nuts at the end, like they can't believe what happened.
I hope Bill Bundy filmed it.
There's got to be some where people were with their cell phones about to record their reaction.
By the way, it's
probably people killed their wives.
You're going to see it. You're going to see it in the next couple days.
There's got to be. And by the way, they're saying Disney. There was Edelman and Malcolm Butler. Both
so they're still doing the bit.
Yeah,
because last year was Malcolm Smith from the Seahawks.
Malcolm
so they are
Smith.
still
I thought there was one last year.
You know what? Al Michaels pissed me off, though, because before we scored, after Curse's catch, he goes, David Tyree, Manningham, now Curse. When can the Patriots catch a break with these miraculous plays? And I'm screaming, they haven't scored.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hold on. So they said Edelman and Butler were the ones?
That's what they said.
Isn't it usually the MVP? I thought
maybe
it was always the MVP.
Maybe Brady didn't want to play. I mean, they make a quick decision, right? They're making a quick decision. They're just getting right on the field. Maybe they didn't know who the MVP was.
Oh, I thought it was the MVP.
Yeah.
By the way, it sounds like Dallas is trying to wedge his way into Drab, right in between Drab and Bodie. Like he's trying to make it a three-way bromance there.
I don't even know. Is Dallas the guy that worked at the
Target?
Yeah,
at the Target. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Mark, Rockville. We're doing pretty well here, banging out these calls. Hey, Mark.
Hi. Good morning.
Hey, Mark.
When you test the football gods, and against the football geeks, I'll take the gods every day. I mean, you just don't make a call like that. It's too much moving parts, too much. I understand what they're saying. Oh, we're going to slide this person over. This person supposed to chip this person. There's no coach in the Hall of Fame, I think, presently would have made a call like that. There's only 3 plays you can run. The read option, a bootleg, and you run a power play up the middle. That's it. I mean, you had a timeout in your pocket. But the geeks, get the geeks out the game. The gods won. Enjoy Patriots will probably be your last one for a while. But that's a horrible, horrible call.
Right.
Horrible call.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate the call. Thank you, buddy.
It's definitely risky.
I like how he just dismisses
risky.
the Patriots all of a sudden. They're just going to go away. They're just going to fade away.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the field.
Well, I'm not going to make a bet. I'm not going to make a bet the day after the Super Bowl.
I think what's lost, really, I understand the call's the biggest topic, was the biggest play. But what gets lost in how good Brady played.
Yeah.
How good the Pats offense was against that defense.
37 for 50 for 328 yards.
I mean, that's
But I
crazy.
didn't think he made like spectacular throws. I thought they were very simple, fundamental throws.
No, it's just to recognize who the open guy is, what matchup to expose, and to be precise for 4 quarters.
I expected that from him.
Yeah, I think that's what
a
gets
testament
lost.
to him. I expected
that's
it
what
from
gthe
him.
lost. We'd expect it.
Well,
that's how good he is.
And I think the
Manning
narrative
and the Broncos
was
came up with 8 points against that defense.
We were obviously a half yard away from talking about his 3 Super Bowl losses.
No, we were this close to talking about Russell Wilson being the best quarterback in the game.
But we're not. We're not talking
You know
about
that? If he gets that yard, you'd be talking about Russell Wilson.
Well, you'd be talking about how clutch he is. You would talk about how
I would
clutch
never
he
have
is.
called him the best, but he
We
would
were
have
talking
been.
about how clutch.
Yeah.
I
He would
thought
have been
Russell
great
Wilson
company.
was extremely good yesterday.
Phone number's 800-636-1067. Taking your calls. Reaction to the Super Bowl. A call that cost the Seattle Seahawks the game. We also on the Fox 5 News Morning coming up in about 7 minutes.